Oh, I just made an exciting video in which I said exactly what I think in graphic language. So graphic and explicit language. So I can't. Obviously, I can't post that video because the last time I posted a video criticizing Nazis and Nazi types. Oh, there goes a hair. Nazi types. I was accused of cyberbullying. I was accused of cyberbullying Nazis, and they deactivated my account. So I'm just going to talk mainly in professional terms. That's cool. That's right. In my capacity as a historian, I will speak in professional terms. Terms. I'm not going to say things like I'm tired of this whining about a certain bunch of people who inhabit a certain strip of land, which is named after a certain other bunch of people who were um, exterminated by Nebuchadnezzar about um, 597 BCE. So I'm not going to mention names. Otherwise, you know, it's going to be goodbye, Charlie. They're just going to, they don't like the truth. They don't like it to point out the real Nazis. All right, so let's see. I could be, and in fact, I am rather upset with these people who support genocide um, and genocidal rapists, murderers, and kidnappers. So let's just look at history. October 7th, 2023, a certain group of people who live in a land that is not named after them. In fact, they are named after the land in which they live. Um, like I just said, the original owners of the land, the real, were wiped out by Nebuchadnezzar about 597 BC. So, calling those people by the name we call them now is like calling me an American when I'm really an Indo European living in America. Anyway, if this is not obscure enough, I mean, I can't just come out and right out and say things. I'm gonna be gone. Well, anyway, all right. October 7th, 2023, a certain group of people attacked without warning, without a declaration of war, and committed a neighboring country and committed the following heinous acts, and that's spelled with an E-I. E-I in a lot of languages sounds like A. Heinous acts, including, well, let's start from the beginning. They attacked a music concert. So who's at a music concert except all these young people? You know they're token up. They're high, having a good old time. When all of a sudden they're attacked by a group of s- s- savage people. People acting savagely. Um, Young girls are thrown down and raped to death. Their bosoms are cut off. One of them gets paraded through the streets of Gaza later in a pickup truck as everybody cheers and has a good old time. Um, oh, okay. I said Gaza, but all right, maybe don't miss it. So anyway, oh, and when they when they weren't doing that, they were murdering whole families at the dinner table. One family, a man, two children, and his wife were found, but they had gouged the husband's eye out first. Um, Maybe they killed his family in front of him and then got gouged his eye out and then killed him. Maybe they got whatever. When they gouged his eye out, he was helpless. He was tied to a chair. Men don't do these things. And then they also just murdered people indiscriminately. They blew some kid's arm off. I think he died later in captivity. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Then, and what affects me most of all is that they kidnapped and tortured to death senior citizens. Look at me. I'm a senior citizen. Now, nobody's going to kidnap me and torture me to death because that would be a fatal mistake for them. um, but, other people are not like me. Other people are not security conscious. Most people walk around unarmed. And let's get back to these crimes: rape, murder, kidnapping, torture. You know, These are, well, like I said, heinous crimes. These are crimes. These people are criminals. That wasn't an act of any type of military. You can't any type of military action. It wasn't a military action. Um, it was a crime spree of rape, murder, and kidnapping. And we put people in jail for doing those things. In fact, I think for murder and kidnapping, you can get the death penalty, and rightly so. And it should be the same for rape. Um, so these people did that. And am I losing my train of thought because I'm a fucking senior citizen? Oh, all right. So these people did that, and then and the people in their hometown uh, applauded that. They were happy that people had been raped to death and murdered, and that they had some senior citizens to torture. I don't condone this shit. I do not condone rape, murder, and kidnapping. Those things aren't in the military vocabulary. So if you support people who did this, you're supporting rapists, murderers, and kidnappers. Oh, what about their babies? They teach their children to kill Jews. Okay, that's not a a speculation. That's not a It's a real thing. You can see it on just look up just Google Palestinians teaching their kids to kill Jews, and you'll see them there with tiny little guns. Um, these people, unfortunately for them, the whole the whole group of people is affected by some kind of psychosis. I knew these Palestinian dudes. I worked with some Palestinian dudes. They told me they told me they kill gay people. They said if you're gay, they kill you. He said, and then he told me you cannot talk to other girl. You cannot talk to a girl. You cannot even look at a girl. This has to be sanctioned by your mother and the girl's mother. And like ends up being in an arranged marriage. And if you don't have a good job, you don't get married. In fact, one guy told me, I'll never forget this. He says, if you want to get laid, you got to go to France. It's a sick theocratic culture. The whole culture is sick. They only want to survive in order to kill Jews. When they say so and so, such and such, or Philistia, as it was once called, um, must be free from the ocean to the sea. In between the ocean and the sea are the Jews. So they mean free of Jews. They want to kill Jews. Um, it's a, Islam itself is not the the most peaceful of religion, even though it is the religion of peace. I mean, I gotta. You want to study Islam and understand it, you could probably go to the library and take some books out about it, and you could really know. I'll just quote the Prophet Muhammad. I was taught to kill. No, no, something like that. Wait a minute. God damn it, I can't remember what it was. Oh, fight. I will fight all men until they say there is no God but Allah. Okay, Muhammad is saying this. He invented the religion. The guy was a caravan raider to start with. If I could go, I should do one on Muhammad. I will fight all men until they say there is no God but Allah. That's what these people are about. They're not like moderate Muslims who might want to bang their head against the floor 5 times a day in the direction of Mecca, but don't really want to go kill all the Jews. Okay, these people are not moderates. They raped, murdered, and kidnapped innocent, helpless Jewish people. So, if you're a Palestinian supporter, here's a big fuck you, motherfucker. Here is a big. Whoa, wait a minute. Here's a double fuck you for supporting rapists and murderers.